We have 3 startups here, and I prepared for this show and watched all these movies and took a look at the startups, and I really fell in love with this startup. Welcome, Aisoy.
Hello.
I fell in love with this little robot. You will explain it now, I think. Who are you?
I'm Diego Garcia, and I'm engineering manager of Aisoy Robotics. And this is our first product. Well, it's the 4th version of our
really
first
cute.
product. It's Aisoy
This is
1.
the first one?
Yeah, this is, well,
Aisoy 1.
I will explain. It's based on Raspberry Pi and, well.
You have 2 minutes.
Perfect.
Can we change the time again to 2 minutes? Thanks a lot. So,
Okay,
the stage is yours.
So I am engineering manager, and when I was a child in the 80s, my mother gave me a very special gift. She gave me a Commodore 64, and I spent a lot of time playing and coding with this computer, this amazing computer, and I became an engineer thanks to this computer. So that's the reason I'm here today. We at Aisoy have a lot of years of researching in social robotics. We think that in the same way we are surrounded by smart devices, smart connected devices, in a few years we will be collaborating by a daily basis with intelligent agents, most of them physical, social robots. And we want our children to be part of this feature, not only as users, but as the creators of that technology. So we have prepared this kind of a social programmable robot that can be used by children from 6 years old. And it's been used right now in several high schools all over the world, but mainly in Alicante. And they are making these kind of things with the robot, where they make theater performance with robots. It's another kind of technology learning. Is learning by play. They have to make theater performance and program the robot using Scratch or Blockly. On the other hand, there are researchers all over the world using the robot with autistic children and with elder people. And this is a way of engaging emotionally with these people that have disabilities to recognize emotions. So they use the robot as a way to disambiguate the emotional communication. So the reason we are here is we want to, the Aisoy 1 become the Commodore 64 of social robotics and democratize robotics in this era. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. These were 2 minutes. Stay here with me on stage.
Okay.
This is Aisoy 1.4, and we will have Aisoy 2 very soon. When will it be?
I'm sure in a few years, in 2 years, but Aisoy 1, the first version didn't use Raspberry Pi. The 3rd version started using Raspberry Pi, and we have launched the new version with Raspberry inside, and it's using the new version of Raspberry. And we are going to use cloud services for increasing the functionality of the robot. So I think I want to have a long time yet, but I want to work in another things.
Will there be a boys and a girls Aisoy, different colors?
Yeah, a lot of girls are asking us for this.
Great, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Have a seat. And let me introduce you, our second startup. You know them already. They also have been here for the top 10 pitch. It's Ambiotex.
All right.
You have 2 more minutes.
I have 2 more minutes, so I can tell you some different things to those of you who have been here before, I guess all of you. Maybe a bit more detail. This is an intelligent sensor-based shirt. It is equipped with textile sensors that take a permanent ECG directly from your body. Different from most other self-tracking devices that are on the market, we are having very precise heartbeat data. They are of medical quality. Actually, this is an ECG as your doctor would take. Now, the problem is these data are full of artifacts and noises. We have a ground-taking technology in here developed by the Fraunhofer Institute that allows us to detect from this signal while you are running, while in motion, a 100% precise pulse rate. This allows us to measure whether you are under stress. We can tell you, slow down, don't overdo it, don't overtrain. We can determine your maximum pulse rate you should not exceed. Normally, you would have to take a lactate test for that, for those who know what that is, taking blood from your ear. Very costly, very painful. We can do that through a software algorithm. We're serving the community of people who want to measure themselves, who want to increase their performance in a safe way. This is not only for top athletes, by no means. This is for everybody out there doing any kind of activities, including managers who want to monitor the stress level, including people working on oil rigs, where the company wants to make sure these guys feel good and they're not overdoing it. And many, many more use cases in various industries that are relying on such precise data. I've been asked quite often, what will it cost? It will be below 200 euros, including the technology, so it's affordable for everybody who normally buys, gadgets or shirts or things in this arena. Our data will be kept safe and private and will only be given away if you agree to that in particular detail to maybe other providers of platforms.
Perfectly. Yeah, you can applaud a little bit. It's not too early. How did you get the idea to build a smart shirt like this?
That was basically very simple. One of my co-founders came across on a fair, it was a medical fair, a demonstrator from Fraunhofer. Fraunhofer has spent up to 10 years in research in measuring vital data in a textile and processing those signals, which is very, very difficult. And then we saw it. It was obviously awful, but it was a demonstrator. And we said, together with our technologies on the app side, on the back-end side, and with our capability of making this a nice technology, a nice electronics piece, we decided to make it a product. We came together with Fraunhofer. We are now their commercial partner to bring this to market, and we are also working with them on the further developments.
Would it be possible to wear it right now under your shirt?
Of course.
And then you say, stop, my heart rate is up.
No problem. I've been wearing this for 8 hours on other shows. The problem is that these are prototypes, and the factories don't ask me for my size, so I'm going to have to squeeze into it, but it works.
Perhaps it's my size. One last practical question. Is it washable?
Absolutely.
And how do you do it?
You take this one off. It's been attached by magnets, very simple. Nice. Wash it 30 degrees, just as your ordinary sports garments you would do, maybe 40 degrees, also possible. And one of my guys already put it in a tumbler, and it survived, so although we do not recommend.
Nice one. Take a seat. Thanks a lot, Ambiotex. We will have a little talk later. And now we have our third startup. You also already know them. It's Glagla International with a Digisole. Welcome on stage.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you.
2 more minutes for you.
Also, classical insole when you can see rare, but it's very, very important to have this kind of product. We have a lot of, I name this gadget connected gadget, and this one is very useful because our target is all of you. Certainly you have an experience with friends, with family, and one of the group, you are going to take a bad day only because somebody has cold feet. So this kind of product is very important on two main features, eating and tracking. Concerning the eating, it's very important to know that not only something to put warm on your shoes, because it's not very good for health, but you can manage it. So you have a thermostat in the insole. You have only to manage it with your smartphone. At the beginning of the day, for example, you set the expected temperature, and then it starts. The insole is going to warm, and each time you achieve the correct temperature, it stops to warm and will start as necessary, when necessary. So it's very useful for skiing, for example, for hunting, but for all the outside activity. Very important. For to the work, for some job, for example, for people who work outside and in cold countries, it's also very, very important. we have as well a sensor in order to track the activity. So classical activity, it means we know exactly if you are going to walk, to run, or whatever. And it means that we are able to say to you how many calories you burn. And it's with a lot of precision regarding the bracelet, for example. You know, with the bracelet, when you meet your neighbors, you do like this, it's 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. In this case, that's not the case because each time you put your foot on the floor, it's 1 step, and that's it. So with a lot of precision.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, give an applause to DigitSoul. I visited your booth yesterday, and someone told me there are 3 different temperature areas in the sole.
Yes.
Does it really work? So you have there a temperature and there another one, and it's completely different?
Touch it. It works.
It works?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
but you can have different temperatures here and here?
no, to be honest, the temperature is just there, and then that's the main we use to distribute the worm. So, but the transistors are just there, and we have the battery just there.
But you can have a different temperature on your left foot and on your right? I saw a picture like that.
Yes, it's possible. I'm not sure that's the most useful functionality, but it works.
It will work next year, perhaps. So have a seat.
Thank you.
We have, I think, 4 or 5 minutes left. Any questions in the audience, perhaps, to one of our startups? Everybody sleepy?
They're
A question over there? No. Okay, then I ask some questions. What do you think? A question to all our startups, to all 3 of you. Why did nobody else before had the idea to do a thing like that?
Maybe because we were the first ones? No.
Yeah, of course, you've been the first one, but
you know, this
why?
is it's an interesting question because there is always a prerequisite, and this is technology. That's where it starts off. All of a sudden, we had sensors available that one could imagine those products, and we're certainly not alone. In Europe, we are pretty much alone. In the US, in North America, there are competitors, less than a handful, but they're basically working on the same thing. So we now have sensors available, technology available, and then you think about use cases. I mean, technology for the sake of technology doesn't make sense. Like some old colleague of mine used to say, you know, I have a solution, let's look for a problem for it. Now, there are issues. People want to make sure they're not overtraining. People want to make sure they do the right things and they are training and acting healthy. Plus, there's also a trend. We cannot disregard the trend of measuring yourself, sharing your data, competing each other. Gamification is a big issue in this whole business. So there are lots of use cases that drive then, do we have anything to support these use cases? And yeah, now we have the technology and we can do it. And that's why we're there.
Concerning DigitSoul, it's quite different. I don't have the response because we have the same question. Why nobody work on it? So it's very, very important.
Yeah, I know gadgets like this, they heat up, but they only work for 10 minutes or something like that. You put them in your jacket or...
Exactly, first of all. And it's very important. We come from the industry of the footwear. So it's very important concerning the insole because you must be comfortable with it. So it's perhaps one of the reasons. But what is more interesting for us is the reason why we think about it. And our owner, to be honest, was invited to a hunting party, but he disliked it. He arrived and the guy said, okay, you have to find something for me. I know that you are an engineer and I want something from you. Say, no, I'm so cold. I don't want to stay there. Say, okay. You can go back home, but find for me a solution, something. You have to find something. So, okay, I'm going to invent the worms insole. So, okay, go ahead, we can do like this. And the project starts really with this kind of situation. So it's for us as well very crazy.
And I really like these. What's about your little robot?
In this, there is a lot of research since the 70s in social robotics, but until 5 years ago, more or less, we don't have this computing power for an affordable price. So we, 6 years ago, decided to make this robot using our technology of emotional agents, traditionally used in data centers, contact centers for this user interaction. But we decided to use this kind of cheap platforms, but powerful platforms, to use this technology. So there is a lot of people working in social robotics right now. There will be a lot of products like us in the market. Our difference is the artificial intelligence engine that allows the robot to take decisions in an emotional way. So I think this is the first of a new generation of products.
I looked for Aisoy yesterday. Where's your booth? Here in the hall?
Is the first one.
Over there, number?
I think it's the first.
Ah, the first booth. Okay, so you can visit them. Which is your number, your booth number?
46.
Okay, and?
30.
30. Of course, you can visit our startups, not only these 3, but all our top 50 startups here in the hall. Everybody's here, and I think you're happy to have many visitors and many chats with investors, perhaps?
Yeah, all kind of.
Okay, so you're invited.
Investors, equally welcome.
If you need a hall map, we have some at the info desk, so thank you. I'm sorry, but time is over.
Thank you.
We have a schedule today.
All right.
Thanks a lot for your products, for the small chat and the presentation.
Okay.
And I think we will
You are
meet
welcome
during the day.
coming to our booth and
You can-
interact with Aisoy One.
He can stay here.
Now he's turned off, but I can show you later.
Yeah. Thanks a lot,
Okay, bye, thank you.
and a big applause for them.
Ciao.